So from early in the game, you could see like Caitlin Clark was locked in. Like she was on a mission on both ends, playing tough defense, coming down, hitting the big shots, doing Caitlin Clark type stuff. So the game was pretty close because you had Aubrey Griffin on her Alyssa Thomas type time, being effective on both ends and hitting shots as well. But the separation started to happen when Iowa went into the zone and they was doing a lot of scoring off transition, turning UConn over. AZ Fudd wasn't really looking like AZ Fudd. Caitlin Clark was lighting Mule up. I don't understand why keep Mule on Clark when Clark is lighting her up. Why not put Griffin on Clark? Because Clark has trouble with athletic long players. It just makes more sense to put her on Caitlin Clark. Like, why? For me, it's like, why even let her get off? Even in the fourth and late in the game, I'm still not letting her get. She got like a deep late three. Why let that happen? For me, just take her out and let whoever else get what they get. I feel like I will play solid first half. Only thing I wanted to see more of was let Cesano eat in the paint. Edwards, I don't think could consistently guard her a whole game if she's just putting pressure, constant pressure. And you could get her in foul trouble and just make her work. Whereas they didn't do that. So Edwards was, had energy on the other end, hitting shots. And she pretty much was the most consistent player throughout the whole game. Let's go in right here and just see this jump shot. Like, she was breaking that zone up. Boom. And, down the stretch, she was doing the same thing. So Aubrey Griffin is everywhere with 3 offensive boards, 2 steals in under 5 minutes. She was doing her thing early on. Aaliyah Edwards, 8 points and 3 rebounds so far. And let's go to halftime. End of the first quarter was 2014. Aaliyah Edwards is leading the game with 10 points. Mule 5 assists, 4 straight for the Huskies. And let's go to halftime. It was 41-35. And then it got to 46-39. And, AZ started hitting. She said at halftime they wanted her to be a lot more aggressive. For me, I just feel like when her shots aren't falling from 3, just don't get too in love with the 3-point line. Try to step in that mid-range. And what she did, she hit one. But she has to hit them, tough. Sometimes somebody's going to be glued right to you, pulling right up over them in that mid-range or get to the bucket. Just start to see some shots go in, and then you get back out to that 3. But she started to get hot from 3 and just, everywhere in the second half. But I just feel like the big standout, she got the press conference, and Edwards got to speak second, but I feel like Edwards should have spoke first because she was the one carrying the team just all the way around all 4 quarters. Anything else stand out? AZ Fudd had 16 points in the third quarter and had 18 in the game. Edwards for the lead. She just was breaking them up with these shots right here. Let me zoom in so I can make sure y'all can see that. Edwards just was huge for me. I was really impressed. This was the Field Night Championship for the Field Night tournament. And she just showed up very big. AZ did too. She hit a big, like Caitlin came down, hit that big long 3. AZ come right back. I just want to see more adjustments early. Don't let the best player go off. Put that athleticism on Caitlin Clark. But Clark was locked in. But as I see often, she starts to wear down towards the end and in the clutch, and you bring in them traps, and like you can really wear her down even if you don't have that athletic player. I'm still just not letting her go one-on-one with Mule. I'm always bringing the trap. Like, I want to make it hard on her, wear her down. And whatever else happens with everybody else, it just happens. But it was everybody hitting. Like, it was a point where, UConn just was stop, come down, bang, stop, come down, bang. It was like 2-3 straight three. This what I'm thinking about from the corner. They just was coming down back to back to back, just hitting these corner threes right here. Bang. 10-0 run for the Huskies. Aaliyah Edwards is up to 20 points. Let's go, Krill. And the final score was 86-79. So let's go to ESPN and check the box score. So we have Leah Edwards with 20 and 13. Let's see how many blocks. 6 assists, 1 steal, 1 block. Had Griffin with 10, 6, 3, and 2. Now, she was hot early on, but kind of disappeared. That's why I say I think Edwards was the player of the game. Fudd got hot in the third, but, 2 and 13 for Mule. Kira had 15. Cesano, 8 and 7. She only got 3 and 7. Now, if they win, you live with it. But in a loss, it's like, come on, you got to get her some more shots. 25 for Clark. Martin had 20. 14 for Warnock. She had some shots, too, that stood out. I want to go to Iowa real quick just to show some of the shots that Caitlin Clark was hitting. Iowa women's basketball. Come on, Iowa, y'all got to have some highlights. Iowa, y'all media is not on your job. All right, so this is the thing with Caitlin Clark. You can find her, Caitlin Clark. It's going to be some highlights. If it's not no other player, it's going to be some Caitlin Clark highlights. ESPNW. It's hard to find it with a lot of other players, but with Caitlin Clark, we call this a Caitlin Clark. Hold on, what happened? They ain't showing that. No luck assist by Caitlin Clark. Hold on, let's go to the latest. Wow, there's no Caitlin Clark highlights out here. Caitlin Clark is ridiculous. Oh, yeah, this is the deep three late that I was talking about in the fourth, and then AZ came right back and answered it. Bang. The game was already out of reach for real, but that's still a big shot. Then AZ come right back. Caitlin Clark is ridiculous. She's going to disrupt and change the WNBA. Nobody in the league is doing this consistently. She's not consistently just hitting that shot. That's what gets put out there, but it's not like you just always seeing that. The AZ Fudd versus Caitlin Clark matchup probably ended up as a draw. Aaliyah Edwards is why UConn won this game with her double-double. Edwards 20 points with 14 rebounds. That's what I was saying. Edwards was just going off. Caitlin Clark has recorded her 35th career game with 20 points, 5 rebounds, and 5 assists, passing Sabrina Ionescu for the most by a Division I player since 1999. If we learn anything from today's game versus UConn, Caitlin Clark needs to shoot more on balance from threes from 25-plus feet. UConn owns Caitlin Clark in Iowa. They prove it time and time again. Iowa lost, but Caitlin Clark is a treasure, so talented. So a lot of people still was impressed. Caitlin is going to wish she came to UConn, starting to see that Connecticut owns the state of Iowa. It will only be better tonight when the men destroy Iowa State. We are the basketball capital of the world. Caitlin Clark playing horrible in big games has become a pattern. 7 of 12 to start the game and 2 of 12 to finish. That's why I said she wears down. And that's what I'm saying. I don't want to hear, oh, well, she ain't had no help. She got Cesano on the team. You got to make sure that she's getting the ball and taking some of that pressure. You don't have to come out and and overexhaust yourself when you have another piece like that. Get her involved, let her carry some of that load, and then you have energy to close the game late. So Iowa led UConn by 5 in the fourth, but the Huskies rallied for the win, 86-79. Caitlin Clark led Iowa with 25 points. Kate Martin had 20. AZ Fudd had 24 for UConn. Fun game. And let's just not do this. Let's give credit to who was really carrying it. I mean, AZ stepped up, but let's see. Final score. Trying to see if we can get some more highlights, but that half-court shot is pretty much, if you need to know anything about Caitlin Clark, that's a nice shot too. Let's zoom it in so y'all can see that. That's tough over two. She was giving Mule that work. I'm not gonna lie. That's why I didn't understand why they just was letting her abuse her like that. Caitlin Clark has 5 assists to 1 turnover right now. The last 2 years, she was averaging 5 assists per 40 minutes. This year is closer, 5 turnovers per 40 minutes. This year is closer to 3 turnovers. Interesting chart from CBB Analytics, assist to turnover. Watching Caitlin Clark and AZ Fudd live stream for the first time, they're always moving without the ball, ready to make plays. And sometimes I want to see AZ on ball, like when you getting down and how Caitlin was just dominating the ball. If it's not falling off the ball, try to get the ball and make something happen, on ball. Whether that's, a good assist or just putting that pressure on the defense. Because when the ball is off ball, it's not like she's not going to have any attention, but I'm saying on the ball, you can put that pressure to make the defense shift in a way because all eyes is on you. So maybe you can open up something in another way. Caitlin Clark's vision. Caitlin Clark, you a dog hooping. Yeah, but shout out to Caitlin, man. Shout out to Leah Edwards. Caitlin came out locked in. Griffin came out locked in. AZ with the big third quarter, but Edwards just was doing it for all 4. And UConn wins the game. Let me know what you think in the comments. I'm out.